It's become part of the city's culture, identity, history. But this sport goes beyond the fortress. The Scarlet and Gray.
The UNLV men's hockey team has dominated.
Our boys in silver.
It's a great opportunity. It's a great challenge. It's the right time. It feels right.
The Monsters in the north.
The Golden Knights are beefing up their minor leagues with the Night Monsters. They begin playing this upcoming season.
And the next generation.
When we scored the overtime goal, it's like, really? That just happens?
The Vegas Junior Golden Knights girls made history by becoming the first female hockey team to represent the state.
They live at the rink. They love the game.
Vegas wanted hockey, Vegas got hockey.
Covering every local team on the ice. This is Hockey in the Desert Weekly.
Welcome inside another edition of Hockey in the Desert Weekly. I'm your host, Vince Sapienza. Adversity has officially struck the Golden Knights. Additions have been made to the Silver Knights, and history has been made in Tahoe. But before we get too far up the ice, let's fire home a snapshot of what is in store over the next 30 minutes. We're going to take a look back at all the action from the guys in gold and silver, show you how the VGK are giving back to the community and at the same time being recognized for their philanthropy. I go one-on-one with one of the highest ranked prospects in the Knights organization, goaltender Carl Lindbom, and as always, Skating Rebels are in studio fresh off the bye, looking ahead to their home series with Utah. But we begin as we always do with the guys in gold, and we go to Edmonton. Nick Hague out with a lower body injury, so Ben Hutton makes his season debut, but all eyes on Connor McDavid, who returned from injury much earlier than expected. However, like the summer of 2023, the former first overall pick upstaged by the number 2 selection, Jack Eichel, showing the speed, the skill, and the Stanley Cup caliber finish. Number 9 gets number 4 on the season on a breakaway beauty. It was 1-0 after 1, but we jump to the second and talk about your all-time bad bounces. Alex Pietrangelo, no one around, tries to find his teammate. Instead, it finds a crack in the boards. The puck bounces right to Zach Hyman, who puts it past Hill. Vegas down 1 after 2. But in the third, we stay with the 2015 draft class and check in with Noah Hannafin, who ties the game here with under 10 to play. And then with less than 60 seconds left on the clock, he nets his third of the season. Second of the night, Ivan Barbashev on the forecheck wins the puck battle and feeds Hannafin for the game winner. And the Golden Knights pick up their first road win of the season, 4-2.
Yeah, it was good. We was kind of starting to get into our heads almost a little bit, I think. We've been playing so great at home, and I think it was just, when you play on the road, you just got to kind of grind those games out, be responsible defensively, and we were looking to do that tonight. And, I thought we had a really good defensive effort, and that's how you win, road games. So it was good to get that one.
Now, while Hannafin's late game heroics were massive, the biggest difference in the game, Aiden Hill, who finished with 27 saves, none bigger than this one earlier in the third. Victor Arvidsson had a gaping, wide open, yawning cage, but Hill's able to push off with that left leg and make an incredible save with the right arm. That kept it a 1-goal game, helping Vegas to their second straight victory, and for Hill, his 4th consecutive win.
He played awesome. He was great. Especially that one you're talking about, Arvidsson one. So, it was good to reward him for that save, and, he's been great.
Aiden Hill just looks a little calmer in there, and I think it just comes from repetition and playing. I'm sure he feels good about his health. He's now played consecutive games a number of times, so I think that was probably lingering in his head at some point, because of the past, and hopefully that's something he doesn't think about at all. Just gets in there thinking about technique, stopping the puck, etc. So he just looks a little more comfortable. I know that's a simple description, but that's what it looks like to me.
Now, while there was plenty of good in Edmonton, the final seconds proved to be troubling for the captain. Mark Stone buries the empty netter there to put this one away, but look at the grimace and reaction on his face in some serious discomfort. And then on this angle, you see him trying to work out something in his left leg. Stone would not play in the second and final game of that road trip in Seattle, did not practice over the weekend. So with no Stone, that means Nick Waugh gets elevated to the top line and top power play assignment with Jack Eichel, and Waugh making the most of his opportunity early, feeding Pavel Dorofeyev for his team-leading 8th goal of the season, and then just a few shifts later, gets his 4th of the campaign off a tic-tac-toe play from Barbashev and Eichel. Vegas led 2-0, but the Kraken would push back, scoring 3 unanswered. The third Aiden Hill tries to poke the puck out of danger, but he puts it off the body of Oliver Bjorkstrand. Flutters up, over, and into the net. Seattle take the lead. However, the Knights continue to fight. Pietrangelo getting the bounce he didn't get in Alberta. His shot goes off a Seattle skate, slides past Joey Decor, ties the game at 3, sending us to overtime. But in the extra frame, the Kraken make the most of another Vegas turnover, and Jared McCann, he's going to go forehand, he's going to go backhand, he is going to go game over, handing Vegas their first loss ever inside Climate Pledge Arena.
I feel it was a lot of self-inflicted stuff in the neutral zone, turnovers. They obviously have a lot of skilled players, fast players, and can be doing those turnovers in the neutral zone. So yeah, I would say that was a difference maker tonight.
Let's head off the ice for a moment. Earlier this month, the Golden Knights held their annual Golden Knight charity event at the Fontainebleau, Las Vegas, and the team announced that through the support of fans and event sponsors, the VGK Foundation raised $1 million, with that money being donated to local organizations and contributing to other efforts that support the Las Vegas community.
I love it. I have an awesome team that helps. I'm lucky that our players love to give back to the community. I'm just proud to be able to be the person that helps with everyone raising the money to help the community.
Now that was Golden Knights Foundation President Kim Frank. She doesn't make any saves on the ice or score goals at T-Mobile Arena, but she has one of the largest roles within the organization, helping connect team to community. And it's been a job well done, because earlier this year she was named Humanitarian of the Year at the Vegas Inc. Angel Awards.
This award goes to Kim Frank, president of the Vegas Golden Knights Foundation.
It's really kind of a recognition of 7 years worth of effort and work. Over $15 million has been raised and actually given back to the Las Vegas Valley community through a variety of different initiatives, all under her leadership.
From day one, even when I was doing marketing, it's all been about the community.
As president of the Vegas Golden Knights Foundation, Kim Frank, in just the past year, has helped raise money for a number of projects, like the construction of the VGK ball hockey rink in the city of Las Vegas, aiding in the support of UNLV student services following the on-campus shooting in December of 2023.
That's our job, to try and put a smile on their face.
Numerous player initiatives, grant awards to local charities, as well as securing a long-term financial commitment to support Cure for the Kids. Donations of gas, meals, groceries, and toys to the less fortunate, as well as helping raise a new team dog in Maverick, all in partnership with America's Vet Dogs. Again, just to name a few.
It takes passion, it takes effort, and just a constant focus. And she's brought that to the table since she's been here. And we couldn't be more proud, more excited for her to finally get some recognition that falls under the organization's umbrella, but it's nice for individuals who do all the heavy lifting and all the hard work and are out there in the community every single day to get that specific recognition.
In addition to her role leading the foundation, Frank is also the president of the Folded Flag Foundation, a nonprofit created by Bill Foley that provides scholarships and support grants to the spouses and children of fallen U.S. military personnel.
Hockey's what we do, but that's not kind of how we impact the community. We impact the community in a lot of other ways. And again, the dollars that the team allows us to raise, because without the team we wouldn't be able to have the platform to raise that amount of money. And so to be able to do that, and then like I said, give back every single day with real dollars, real money, it does make a difference. And like I said, under her leadership, we've been able to do a lot, and just really proud of her.
Now, despite all the ice, we're just getting warmed up here on Hockey in the Desert Weekly. Coming up, I go one-on-one with one of the youngest guys on the Silver Knights roster and possibly a future starter in the Golden Knights net. My chat with Carl Lindbom is next. And as we head to break, here's a look at what is next for the guys in gold. 7 of the next 8 on the road, starting in Anaheim. Then it's the first trip to Utah over the weekend before heading home for a clash with the Caps.
You're watching Hockey in the Desert Weekly.
Welcome back inside Hockey in the Desert Weekly. The Silver Knights remain at the bottom of the division and the Western Conference in the American Hockey League, just 11 games in. But with plenty of runway left in the season, the HSK seem to have found some confidence in Calgary. Let's go to game one that we saw in Alberta over the weekend, where the Silver Knights absolutely handled the top team in the AHL. Calen Addison getting that Hockey in the Desert Weekly rub. He's on the show last week, scores his first with HSK on Friday, part of a 5-goal outburst in the opening frame for the Roadies. Now, 7 players finished with multi-point efforts en route to an 8-3 victory. However, less than 24 hours later, the offense would dry up as the Wranglers shut out the Silver Knights for the second time in 4 games played. And like the first time, this one was a 4-0 final. Now, here's Mason Morelli following game 1, and then you'll hear head coach Ryan Craig following game 2.
Just played the way we wanted for the bulk of that game. We know how we need to play and what works in this league. So I think it was a good response by us and a step in the right direction, and we're looking to continue that forward.
Overall, I think we saw the recipe that works. We saw when you chase the game where it gets behind on us.
Out of all the talent on the Silver Knights roster, the most NHL potential just might be in the net, and in the form of one of the youngest players on the roster in Carl Lindbom. He made a name for himself in Sweden, and now he's trying to do the same in Southern Nevada.
Carl Lindbom has been regarded as one of the best goaltending prospects in the world for a few years now. Drafted by the Golden Knights in the 7th round of the 2021 draft, Lindbom's development has been staggering. From winning Goaltender of the Year and Rookie of the Year in Sweden's 2nd division to scoring a goalie goal in the Swedish Hockey League. And after signing an entry-level deal with the Golden Knights in 2023, Lindbom made the jump overseas to start his pro career in North America.
It's a different game for sure. Like over here in North America, the game feels a lot faster since the ice is smaller. More shots, more pucks to the net, more traffic. So it's a little bit of a time that you have to adapt and so it's. But I feel like I've played pretty many tournaments over here in North America, so by now I'm pretty used to it. So it kind of felt good in the game, actually.
Lindbom made 2 appearances in the rookie tournament this past summer, earning him a longer look with the big club during Golden Knights training camp.
It kind of felt weird at first, like watching the guys on TV at home back in Sweden, and now we're practicing with them. So for sure, it was a kind of surreal moment the first couple of days. Yeah, the training camp, practicing with all the NHL guys, getting NHL shots on you. It's really good for the development for all the guys. So it's just a really cool experience. My thought process was do the best you can, try and fight for a spot, and it ended up being pretty good.
The 21-year-old earned a spot with the Silver Knights out of camp, backing up Akira Schmid. In his first game, he finished with 43 saves, picking up his first victory.
It felt good. It was a fun game, a lot of shots. I thought we played well, so it was good to get one out the way.
Carl was excellent in his first game over here in North America. It was what we saw kind of from rookie camp on. A guy that battles and competes, is ready and willing to do anything to stop the puck. And with the amount of pucks that came to the net on Saturday night, he was ready for it.
I do feel good. At the same time, first game of the season is always a little bit all over the place. I feel like I'm only going to get better and more into it, more calm, and with my game and everything like that.
Lindbom's journey to the NHL is a work in progress. He has the potential, the skills, and now the mask to prove it.
I really like the left side with the logo and the sword. I really like that one for sure.
Now, Lindbom has just been limited to 2 games dealing with a lower body injury and is considered day-to-day. Now, this past week, the Silver Knights continue to beef up their blue line, signing 2-time Calder Cup champ and former first-round pick Lucas Johansson. The 26-year-old defenseman spent his entire pro career with the Washington Capitals organization, appearing in 9 NHL games. He scored 20 goals and 92 points in 257 contests with the Hershey Bears in the AHL. And staying with the Silver Knights, it is November, but for half a dozen of these players, simply known as Movember. All these gentlemen on your screen will grow out their mustaches in an effort to raise awareness and money that support men's health initiatives and the fight against cancer, particularly prostate and testicular cancer. Mason Geertsen, Braden Bowman, Tanner Lazinski, Dyson Mayo, Kai Uchas, and Matthias Sapolov-Valev each have their own Mo page where fans can check in on how their stash is going and growing, as well as donating to a good cause. And the Night Monsters hit the road for the first time in franchise history this past weekend, getting the split against the Utah Grizzlies. Tahoe dropped game 1 6-4, but bounced back less than 24 hours later, earning their first road victory in franchise history, a 6-2 drubbing. It was their 4th win of the season. And don't forget, you can catch all the action from the Tahoe Night Monsters right here on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network. Here's a look at the next 4 games. November 16th versus Tulsa, 23rd versus Kansas City, the 12th against Utah, and December 15th also against the Grizzlies. Still ahead on Hockey in the Desert Weekly, it is time to turn our attention to the Scarlet and Gray. Jeremy Foreman joining the show in studio to get us ready for a unique 2-game home series with the Utah Utes. It's all coming up next. Keep it here. Welcome back inside Hockey in the Desert Weekly. Vince Sapienza here. We've talked gold, silver, and even the teal from Tahoe, but now it's time to talk a little scarlet and gray, and to do that, we had to bring in the Skating Rebels as we do every week. Jeremy Foreman, goaltender for the Scarlet and Gray UNLV. Thanks for joining us. How are we feeling following the bye week? Are we refreshed? What's the mood right now?
Yeah, thanks for having me, and I think we're feeling good. Definitely took a few days to recover because we had some tough games earlier this year, but I think we're ready to go and looking forward to the games against Utah. All
right, so first things first, let's introduce who you are. You are a Division I transfer from the University of New Hampshire, making your way to Las Vegas. I guess what went in the decision to come to Las Vegas, play for UNLV, and help this team reach the ultimate goal of a championship?
Yeah, obviously enjoyed my time at New Hampshire, and after graduating was just looking for a different opportunity, and the coaches here reached out, and it seemed like a really good spot to be, and it was kind of an easy decision to come down here.
So as you've made the transfer and transition here, I guess what have you taken away so far from the Skating Rebels? What have you learned that maybe you didn't know to your surprise?
I think it's a really well-run organization. You know, the practices are really good, the workouts are really good, and everyone's really bought in on winning and trying to get better.
Yeah, winning obviously always helps that transition. You guys have done a lot of it early on. What has been the kind of recipe to some of this early success? Because, again, there's a lot of new faces in this group, and so, you know, trying to mesh, trying to meld is always something that takes time, right? You can't just microwave it. It's got to simmer a little bit. So what's been your takeaway from the early success?
Yeah, it's definitely different when you have a lot of young guys and a lot of transfers. It's just building chemistry, you know, doing team activities even off the ice, just building that relationship, and it definitely transfers on the ice, and you start building that chemistry on the ice.
Now, doing that off the ice, you guys just had the annual golf classic. You hit the links this week. How'd we do?
It was good. Yeah, it was fun. Me and Cole Wyatt were in a group together with a couple of the donors for the program, and it was a really good time. Well put together.
Were you the best in your group?
We were ham and egging it pretty well out there.
See how he says we all? It's a team thing. That chemistry is already building. Let's talk about and move ahead to what is to come this week. 2-game series with the Utah Utes at City National Arena, kind of a special deal. The midnight game, the annual midnight game where you guys play Thursday at midnight. The fraternities, the sororities all come out. It's a raucous atmosphere for you as a player. Again, it's all fun for everybody else, but for you, so when us get ready a little bit later in the day, what does that go into? What does that look like?
Yeah, it's definitely different, not something I've done before, like even our morning skates in like the afternoon that day, which is going to be weird, but I'm looking forward to it. Everyone said it's really fun, and it's going to be a good atmosphere in there, so it should be good.
What time do you take a nap for a midnight game?
I have to figure that out, but probably at like 3-4 o'clock. I don't know. Yeah.
So that's Thursday midnight. Friday, you guys are going to be obviously honoring Military Appreciation Night, always giving back to the community. And is that something you've taken away as well from this program? It just seems week in and week out, you guys are always not just playing on the ice, but doing something for the community.
Yeah, absolutely. We had the Nevada Day game last week and the Military Night this week, and I think it's really cool. We definitely brings fans into the building too, which is always fun, and it's good to give back to the community.
And just as you look ahead what is the long stretch of the season now, getting to a championship, how close do you feel this team is in terms of that build?
I think we're definitely on the up. You know, we still have a lot of things to take care of, but it's early in the season, and we're definitely going to hammer down on some details. But we have a good group of guys, and we have a winning culture, so it's definitely something that we can do.
Jeremy Foreman, UNLV Skating Rebels goaltender. They always say goalies are crazy and weird. You're not crazy at all. You're fantastic. Thank you so much, Jeremy. We appreciate it. We'll chat down the line. Hockey in the Desert Weekly rolls on. When we return, we are clearing the ice. Keep it here. And you're taking a look. T-Mobile Arena, the Fortress, home of the Golden Knights. Not going to be there a lot this month, but plenty the rest of the way. Welcome back inside Hockey in the Desert Weekly. It is now time to check in on the Golden Knights of yesteryear in our continuing quest segment, where we take a look back at the former guys in gold who are now playing elsewhere. And over in Sunrise, we had an original Misfit reunion. Tomáš Nozick scoring his first as a member of the Florida Panthers and doing it against Jonathan Marchessault and the Nashville Predators. But take a look at who sets him up. It's the great 88, Nate Schmidt. Now, how about this for a fun fact? These two played for 3 seasons together here in Vegas. This is the first time Schmidt has ever set up a goal for Nozick. Nozick has only ever assisted on a Schmidt goal 1 time in their careers, and that occurred January 4th, 2019. Mark that down. Over in Beantown, it's the former Knight and Stanley Cup champ Michael Amadio lighting the lamp for the first time as an Ottawa Senator, gripping and absolutely ripping this one past Jeremy Swayman. Sens would go on to win 4-3 in overtime. And over in the Motor City, it's the 3-time champ Jonathan Quick putting up another donut for the Blue Shirts. His 61st career shutout is a 4-0 win over the Red Wings and puts him into a tie with who? Turk Broda for the 18th most in NHL history. Quick is also a cool 3-0-0 so far for the Rangers this season. And as we wrap up Hockey in the Desert here, it is time to once again clear the ice. Now, last week we celebrated Marc-Andre Fleury's last game in Pittsburgh. This week we are celebrating his last game in San Jose. The Flower earned the win in the Shark Tank, but the story here, Macklin Celebrini, the first overall pick in this past draft, which happened here in Vegas, and the youngest player in the NHL, scored twice against the oldest player in the league. Sorry about it, Flower. To put that in perspective, Fleury was in the National Hockey League for 3 years before Celebrini was even born. Feel old yet? Same. This has been Hockey in the Desert Weekly. I am Vince Sapienza. Thanks as always. We will see you next week.